Another day, and another bike ride. Sup. Suppity sup. I'm on my BMX today. My mountain bike. I have even another mountain bike, but I don't know. The BMX is just easier to get out. My mountain bike is dead. Not dead. The tire's flat. Need to fix it. Not much brakes on this bike. Whew. Yeah, I won't be dropping anyone tonight. But I wanted to still post something, you know? I could have just come out later and fix my tire first, but I feel like it's gonna rain, so for my enjoyment, I should just do the ride. This bike weighs as much as my mountain bike, by the way. It's a 1990s Trek BMX. The last ride I did with it was in the winter. Man, the train. That really sucks. Yeah, and I haven't done any maintenance on this bike since that winter ride, so I at least should have oiled the chain a little bit before I left, because I was riding in salty snow, but I oiled it a couple months ago, so it should be all right. Even in the, you know, it's not gonna like ruin this ride. I maybe could have improved the quality of the ride a little bit by doing that, but again, not the end of the world. The thing that's funny about this bike is it's way harder training and you look way less impressive on it. That's all right though. It's just for a one ride. It's fun breaking out your old bike sometimes, you know? It's like, that's what it's there for, the pinch, you know? You're in a pinch, you still want to do your ride, you have something. Rather than having to cancel your ride. I brought this bike to the wrong bike mechanic one time. That ticking sound you hear, I thought it was my bottom bracket for the longest time. What it actually is the pedal. It's the right pedal of the bike, left pedal. I actually have a nice new set of pedals for this too that I have to put on that I've just been avoiding. So maybe that'll be my something I should remind myself to do when I go to change my tire on the mountain bike. When I go to patch the tire, maybe I should slip these pedals on. I mean, they're just sitting there otherwise. Paid $25 for them. This is gonna hurt my Strava average speed stats. That's something about bikes that a lot of people don't realize on these Strava apps too. Like, many of these people you see beating you, they're not some great athlete. Their bike is just cracked. Or it's an e-bike. Really don't have that much to say today. I don't think I was supposed to go down bluer either. Kind of locked into it now. Not really. No, we can go down Dundas. The handling on this bike isn't as great as my mountain bike either. The turning radius is just way different. Yeah, no, this bike I brought to a bike shop, I'll never go back there again. I went there when I really didn't know shit about bikes. I may as well name the shop. I had them look at 3 of my bikes, and the one thing they did well was true my wheel. The bike shop's name is Mike the Bike. And I'm just gonna call it as it is. That place is a chop shop, and also a lot of stolen bikes end up there. And Mike, the owner, if you give him any opportunity to, he will steal your old parts. Even if you agreed. Like, basically how it went was a wheel on one of my BMXs. I had errands to run that day in the area, and I should have just kept the original wheel on the BMX because it was much better. This is like 3 or 4 years ago now. This was during COVID. Sorry for the pause there. It's just some drivers really make me nervous the way they drive behind me. That Honda driver just there. Especially when you're like not on your best bike. Yeah, but basically Mike took this wheel off of my old BMX and replaced it with a different one. And it just wasn't as good. I would have been better off. I basically wanted him to fix a spoke, and it was a wheel that could only be fixed by welding. And I picked up my bike that day and I told him, hey, I have some errands to run in the area. Is it okay if I leave my wheel here and then I'll pick it up from you in a day or two? And I literally came back in a day or two, and Mike said he lost the wheel in that time. And it was at that point I realized just not a good intentioned person. You know what I mean? Because I expressed to him how much the bike he was working on mattered to me, and he just didn't do a good job on me. And I treated him right too with the money I paid. So there was no excuse from that side. I'm sure he's done a lot of good repairs for people. I see him get some good reviews, but with me, he didn't do a good job. He did a good job on one of my mountain bike wheels, on one of my other mountain bikes, but that's it. He worked on this bike that I'm riding too, and I asked him to find the source of the ticking problem, and he never did. And what ended up happening was he took the original heavy duty bottom bracket out of this bike and replaced it with some cheap supercycle one, and the bike never rode the same after that. When I got this bike back too, the back wheel was also crooked. There's just and you know, you pay money for these repairs, and I was glad that I found a better bike shop later on, because Mike of Mike the Bike really let me down, and he was really doing some shady shit. But after finding a different bike shop, I may as well say the name. I think this bike owner's retiring soon too, in a year or two, I think he said. The shop is called The Bike Place on Bloor, or not Bloor, in the Junction. And that guy is a really phenomenal guy, and I appreciate the way he treated me, you know, especially because I do my best to treat him well too, for the things he does for me, you know, making sure that my bike is good and safe. Like I said, Mike only ever did one good job for me, and that was retruing a wheel. No, and around that time too, that's when I started trying to do my own maintenance, because a lot of shops will do shitty jobs on these small jobs and just rip you off. Most, like, Google reviews can be very deceptive. Because there was nothing on Google that led me to believe Mike would be like that, but he was. I'll even ride by Mike's shop. He's closed, but I'll show you where it is. No, and I confronted him face to face about these things too, especially how he said my wheel went missing after one day, you know? And I really thought I'd be getting this like upgrade on this other BMX I had with the other wheel, but really I just didn't know shit about bikes, and it was bad. It made the bike way worse. And that bike really meant something to me too, because it belonged to my cousin who passed away. And when I returned it to my aunt and uncle, I wanted it to be like as pristine as I could, but with the money I spent already and just the failure to get it where it needed to be, I just couldn't afford it, and I had to give it to them like that. And it still rode, but that used to be a really fast and great bike, and it just fell from glory so much, especially after Mike put his hands on it and took the proprietary wheel it came with. Because it's like one of those special wheels. It was a 90s CCM Mach 3 BMX Chromoly. And the type of wheels they have, it's like you have to weld it to change the spoke, or at least the spoke that was broken on mine. And I really should have just rode it with a broken spoke, because it rode much better than the wheel that he put on there. Yeah, I'm sure lots of people have like bike shop grievances. You just gotta keep trying your luck and like do your research, and know that all your research that you find on the internet also won't be true. You have to go in person and take a chance on someone's workmanship, you know? You really want to try and find a mechanic that's been in business for a while. And the gentleman at the bike place on Bloor, I keep saying Bloor, the gentleman at the bike place in the Junction in Toronto does a really good job. And he's who I go to now. He's always honest and upfront with what is actually wrong with the bike. He's never once tried to sell me something I didn't need or take my parts. You know, like yeah, that's funny. I really wasn't planning on talking about this, but it just kind of came out. You know, it comes out because my bike, this bike that I'm riding, still has problems that were paid for to fix. And it also had parts stole off of it too by Mike. And this bike rides good enough too, but it just does not ride as fast or the way it used to ride. So basically, I'm telling you directly, don't go to Mike the Bike. We're gonna ride by his shop here in a minute. What are you doing, cunt? This guy turn signal left behind me, then he wants to go, he turn signal right, and then he wants to go left. Right here. Huh? Oh, is this not a bike shop anymore? There you go. That place that I just pulled up to right there, that used to be Mike the Bike. He's not there anymore. He's I guess he's at a business there. Just goes to show you. Maybe he moved. I'll look him up when I go home. But his business isn't there anymore. I wonder why.
तो मना कर दिया कि आपकी गोल बटन बेटी भिखारी का रोल सूट नहीं कर
We'll just cross right here. Whew. There, you know what, too? There's something else I'll say that I have sympathy for. A lot of these bike dudes that do these jobs, they don't even get paid right for their expertise. For people like Mike, I don't feel bad about it. But there's a lot of them that just don't get paid right. So even though I don't feel bad, I can empathize in a lot of ways. No, but honestly, for small repairs, try to learn them on your own. You'll be really grateful that you have the skill once you have it. And even if you forget the skill, you did it once, and that means you can do it again. More than likely, you know? And for fast fixes, too, you should value your bike mechanic and a bike mechanic, like find a bike mechanic and value them. They'll save you a lot of time and headache. Even if it's just giving you information about what part you need or what was actually broke. What are you doing? Whew. Whew. But yeah, back to what I was saying earlier. If your bike parts really matter to you, you have to know what your parts are and be firm with these repair people, because they'll steal your shit. And a lot of the time there's nothing wrong with your part. They're just telling you something is wrong with it so they can steal it. And then they make double the money. on the job even more. Sometimes the part is worth more than the whole job. Sometimes you can't even get the part anymore, you know? Whew. Get it? We tried. Should have went sooner. There's a lot of stuff that plays into your ego. It's like, I don't want to make that e-biker think that I'm trying to chase him down the second he passed me, you know? Especially on this bike, I'm not looking to get into a battle with him. Especially a battle where I'd have to give my all to win. And probably couldn't even. There's something really hard, like this Honda right here. It drives me nuts when drivers pass you 1 or like 2 kilometers over the speed that you're going. It's like, I would really prefer if you went up to 5 kilometers and put a little bit of space between us. You know what I mean? Like don't just pass me so slowly. Like anyone you're gonna pass, you should pass them fast. Riding like side by side is one of the dumbest things there is. Really like irksome hearing a car and just feeling the car's presence, the wind just behind, like it's so annoying. I'm not annoyed right now. I'm just saying it gets to you. There's drivers that'll do it for blocks and blocks too. I'm glad I came out to ride. It's a really chill ride. This isn't as so much of a ride that tires me out because I'm not spinning the pedals as much. I'm using more of my muscles and my leg to turn slowly. So it's not like I'm panting out of breath. There's something about riding a bike that's just not as good as your normal bike that is just very humbling and just makes you appreciate how good you have it, you know? Like, if you ever think you need a new bike, I recommend stepping on a bike that's worse than your bike. Oh boy. Like, when you ride a worse bike, your perspective is just like so different. Everything's different. Your instincts are just not the same as you are when you're in your power. You know what I mean? I really like it. A lot of people wouldn't be able to like this. I like it. You work for that 25, 30 kilometers an hour and you lose it as soon as you stop pedaling on this bike. You're like right back down to 20. It is a heavy bike, so any hill you're losing. Man, someone's car is really fucking annoying. Making like this weird ratcheting sound. Maybe it's music too, I don't know. Whew. This is gonna sound racist to some of you. There's such... Here, we'll wait till we pass this guy. There's such an innocence portrayed by black people wearing white. Like, because, like, how do I explain it? Maybe it's better that I don't even try. Just let my statement stand. Black people in the comments, do you feel that way? Because, like, white on black and black on white stand out on each other, right? That's how I truly mean it. And it's like, if you're making yourself be seen, there's a really good chance you're not up to anything. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if I'm a racist. I'm sure some of you think so. Hell, just for being white, you're being racist sometimes by today's standards. What the fuck? Skunk. I don't know if that comes up in the video. Pepe Le Pew was out. yeah, I'm sorry if this ride was boring or slow for some of you. I'll have my bike back up by the next ride. It's funny, Strava is making me never want to ride my e-bike now. Because on days where I should be exercising, you know, you want to actually record your exercise. Whereas if I'm out on my e-bike, I don't really want to use Strava while I'm out on my electric bike, because that would ruin all of my personal best times. And I would be king of the mountain in so many areas where I have no business being KOM. It's a fucking e-bike. Thousand subscriber special. Smash as many KOMs in my area on a burner account on an e-bike as possible. Become hated in the Strava community. New life goal. I'm looking forward to seeing myself get like all slow times on Strava tonight, because I'm on this bike. It's fun to compare the data, you know? That right there is why I love headphones while I ride. I know the ambulance is raising their siren because they're approaching the intersection, but it doesn't fucking not blare my ears and make me jump any less, you know? That kind of thing. Noise can be like a real accident causer on a bike. Anyway, you know what it is. That's it. That's all. And remember, the same ride is never the same ride.